having more things, having a better life, having an easy ride. But the moment he starts contemplating on his mortal nature, that's when he begins to think, what is this all about?
It's true for me.
What is before this? What is beyond this? So, mortality or mortal nature of life is not a curse, it's a blessing. What we need to understand is, what you call as my body is something that you have gathered. What is the big deal about giving it back? You're making it such a big deal because you are so identified with things that you're gathered. You become that. In your experience of life, you've become the things that you have gathered. Because you have become that which you have gathered, this is the essence of ignorance. This is the essence of pain, this is the essence of misery, this is the essence of suffering, that you believe yourself to be something that you are not. This is the essence of chattering mind. People come and ask me again and again, Sadhguru, I try to meditate, my mind is going all over the place. The moment you identify yourself with something that you're not, your mind will not stop for a moment. You do what you want. The only way to stop it is either shoot you in the head or you come to an awareness as to what is you and what is not you. If you come to that, mind will become utterly still. If I sit here for 5 days, I will sit here without a single thought. That may sound dumb to you, but no, because life, the phenomena of life is far bigger than thought. What can you think? The creation is so big. Life is such a absolutely unfathomable phenomena, but now you're engrossed in your own thought because you're identified with things that you're not and you're helplessly trapped in thought. Because you're trapped in thought, now you have to glorify that, otherwise you'll feel like a fool. Right now, the thought process, humanity has paid such importance to thought process to a point where somebody went to the extent of saying, I exist because I think. It's not so. You can think because you do exist. Your existence is first, but that's been completely missed. Because the experience of your existence has been missed, whatever you have gathered in the form of body and mind has become so important. Now dropping it has become such a big problem. Once you're existentially here, that is, your experience of life is beyond the limitations of what you have gathered, that is, beyond the limitations of your physical body and your thought process and mind, then living and dying are not two different phenomena. They're the same. Every moment, you can say, right now I'm living, or you can say, I'm dying, because you're actually dying. One day the process will be complete, but you're actually dying. You may do many things in your life, you may do them or you may not do them. This is one thing you will do. You need to understand, from your birth till the last moment, you are walking in a straight line, straight towards death. You may look this way at the mountains, you may look that way at the lake, you may look at relationships, you may fall in love, you may suffer, you may enjoy, but essentially every moment of your life, you're walking straight towards your grave. So that is the most inevitable thing. And that's the only thing which enhances the quality of your life. I am not saying you must choose to die. Death does not need your assistance. Because whenever death happens, it happens with absolute efficiency. Death is always super efficient. It's only life which needs our assistance. It is only life that can be enhanced constantly. So your focus is on life, but unless you embrace death, you cannot live. If you try to avoid death, all that will happen to you is, you will end up avoiding life. If you are every moment afraid, what will happen to me, or will I die, you will only avoid life. You will not avoid death. Because what you call as death is just a transition of life which has to happen. So immortality is a very immature idea. Unless you go beyond the physicality of life, everything that is not physical is always immortal. It is only the physicality which is mortal. So if your experience of life right now transcends the limitations of the physical, you're already immortal. I'm immortal because I don't exist. I am immortal because I am not identified with my physical body. I enjoy my body, I use my body, but I'm constantly aware that it is only an accumulation. Any day I have to drop it. So this is immortality. In awareness, you're immortal. Only in unawareness, you are mortal.
Sadhguru, there's so many choices that we have about our life. More choices I'm seeing, the more aware I get. Can it also get to a point where we have choices about our death, how we die, or is there any way that we have some kind of choice?
We need to understand this. Everything that you can experience is life. What you call as death also is life. So if there are choices about death, they're definitely… what you're referring to as death is just the last moment of life. So that final moment when you transcend the limitations of your physical body, that happens only once in your lifetime. Almost everything in your life may happen many times over, but this one thing happens only once in your lifetime. And it's the last thing that you do. The last thing that you do in your life is death.